Hi, everybody. Daniel from the Venza Dutch office. Thank you for being here for another reaction video. With me, as always, Sean Shields from the Roswell office. Yeah. Oh, he's disco dancing. Yeah, we're recording this on Friday, so it's Disco Fridays. Perfect. All right, we've got a couple of friends from the industry going to give their raw reaction. Let's find out who is here. Caroline, tell us about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Daniel and Sean, thanks so much for having me back. I'm product marketing manager at Sertifi. Have a ton of hospitality experience. I'm just excited to be here talking about a hospitality topic with you.
Fantastic. Always a pleasure to see you and have you here. Kim, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kim Delaney. I am an associate publisher with Hospitality Upgrade magazine. And unlike Caroline, I'm relatively new to the hospitality industry, but excited to be here.
Fantastic. Well, glad you're here, and the both of you are courageous enough to be on the hot seat. The way this works, folks, Sean's going to share something on a screen, and I've got a question for these ladies, and let's find out what their reaction is. All right, this is from our friends over at Skip. Love their content. Conscious travelers can be a money-making opportunity. So this is a little article about new trend, especially. They reference, I don't think it's just me saying it, they reference Gen Zs and millennials, although I like to think of myself and my wife, we might fall into this category of community-oriented, want to have a positive, eco-friendly experience, and when we're doing our travel. So it's something it's the pulse, the zeitgeist of the coming traveling trend. So what I thought was really interesting about this article is it's the tourist minister of the country of Panama is quoted. And so my question to you both is, assuming that this is a trend, do you believe that it will be something that municipalities or countries will there be more coordination on this community-oriented aspect with the hospitality? Do you see more coordination? Because sometimes it's not typically a kind of a coordinated effort between cities and municipalities or countries on this topic. So have you heard about this kind of thing? And do you think that this idea of like a country like Panama throttling up their activity with that? Is that a clear question? Why don't we, Caroline, you're nodding. What do you think?
Well, lifestyle hotels are the way of the future. More hotel chains are opening brands that are more lifestyle oriented, and we as travelers are being more thoughtful about where we go. And the culture and immersing ourselves is super important. So when somebody chooses a place like Panama, they're choosing a place like that because they're interested in the culture, because they want to do things that are innate within that country. So I absolutely think this is a continued trend. If you look at the top hotel brands, that's what they're opening these days. They're not opening conference hotels in downtown, although those are happening too. Their focus happens to be in the lifestyle division so that they can give a real experience to people that are traveling to places like Panama, places like Argentina, places like Costa Rica. I mean, you're going to see a lot of that. Yeah. Our time is very limited as travelers. And when we go to places, we want to make sure that we're really soaking in the entire experience. So I see that definitely as a trend moving forward.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Caroline. And if the pandemic has taught us anything, and I've said this before, that the world is this much smaller place than we ever realized. And when people travel, especially the younger set, ecotourism is sort of been a hot button issue. And when we travel, not only taking what we can from the culture and the environment and the area, but then what can we give back to those local communities? If the municipalities and the cities are working with their local communities, what can travelers and tourists go and give back to those communities in addition to what they're taking?
Yeah. And, in addition, I think that hotels are really competing with Airbnbs, hostels, places that really are innate to where they are. And so if hotels don't learn to pivot in that direction, then, you know, occupancy is going to be affected. And part of that is also, you know, bringing that local world into your world and giving opportunities that you can't. I mean, even honestly, even domestically, it's not just Panama or Costa Rica or whatever. Domestically, people are doing it as well. I mean, I live in Scottsdale, and it has really a lot of culture around here, a lot of Native American culture, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And even the domestic properties are really making that a part of the day-to-day for their folks that are staying in their hotels. So.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the hotel experience. It's about what you experience when you get to an area, what's outside of those four walls.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm all for it. I mean, that's a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I had a chance to be in Istanbul, and
Very cool.
yeah, we just I want to just go and find out what the locals are doing. And it was not, it was a bit of, it's a fantastic place to go, but it was a bit of a bit of research on our side to make it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if if people, there wasn't any kind of infrastructure to have a community conscious traveler experience. We had to kind of craft it on our own. But I think my tourist dollars probably would have increased if other options were displayed. We should go to these kinds of locations and do these types of things. They probably left money on the table with me personally because there wasn't an infrastructure to be more of a conscious traveler.
That's where that teamwork that you talked about could come into play. The teamwork between the municipalities and the cities and the hotels and the local areas.
Yeah.
You know, there's a wellness aspect about it as well. Another thing that we've learned out of this pandemic is we want to make ourselves feel good, and we want to take care of ourselves. And there is a wellness aspect around that as well. So, you know, when you feel good inside, you tend to exude that. And I think there really is a wellness aspect with that as well.
Taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other, right? In the local communities.
Yeah, it's not just about feeling good by going and hanging out at the spa and having, and pampering yourself, which is great. But if you can also be contributing somehow to the community, making it a better place. We were talking about the Faroe Islands, Sean, in another reaction video some time ago, but inviting people to come and do ecological projects, and they had a finite list of people that they could invite, and the number of people that applied was many times over what the space is available. So interesting trends. Sean, before we wrap up, any thoughts? Conscious traveler.
Well, first of all, it's Constantinople, Daniel. Constantinople, not I mean,
for the last 1,200 years.
When I travel up north to New Amsterdam, for instance.
Sean's only reference is a 400-year-old historical history book.
I like things to be the same everywhere I go. I don't want to see anything new. Chick-fil-A calls me. They're like, Sean, where do we need a Chick-fil-A? I go to that country. I find where the Chick-fil-A should be, and that's what I do. Disney wouldn't take any of my money. I mean, I don't know. I just think, I go somewhere, I don't really want to experience the culture. I'm small-minded. So I'm in the unenviable position of being in opposition to what they're saying.
There's the conscious traveler, and then there's the unconscious traveler, and that you might be into that.
We get fairly conscious, but you should try it sometime, Sean. It's pretty liberating for sure.
Next thing you'll know, you'll tell me to see it from somebody else's point of view.
Well, I have been to Carnival, or we go to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and you see some barely conscious travelers. So that's a whole different subject. That's the next article from Skipped. So yes, consume responsibly, as the ads say. Well, very good. Thank you both ladies for being in our reaction video. And I guess this is coming out right around the holiday season. So happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Yeah,
Happy
thank
holidays.
You bet.
Thank you.
See ya.